Math formulas in emails. Is there a way to enter latex, or similar, formulas into an email and get them rendered as typeset formulas on the receiving side, perhaps with cooperation of the receiving party? My preferred mail client is Thunderbird, but solutions for other applications might be of interest as well, and portable solutions obviously would work best. Things I'm hoping for but couldn't find so far. A way to reference the mathjax JavaScript files from within an HTML email, together with a configuration on the client side which allows execution of this particular JavaScript without opening too much of a security hole. Some add-on which enables mathjax on the receiving side, without any particular reference to it in the email. This might work even for plain text messages, which is a good thing. Some add-on which allows the user to enter latex code somewhere, and which embeds the corresponding mathmal into a HTML formatted message. Some add-on which allows me to mark part of my message before clicking a button. The marked text should then be interpreted as latex and be replaced by the corresponding mathmal. Obviously this will only work for HTML formatted messages, too. I'm interested in any known procedures along the lines above. In cases where not immediately obvious, information as to which applications on the sending as well as on the receiving side support this approach would be welcome. For example, I have heard that both Thunderbird and Apple Mail will support mathmal for received mails, but Outlook will not. At least the part about Thunderbird rendering the formula I can confirm.
This functionality is available in Thunderbird version 31.6.0. Open new write message, insert greater than mathematical formula, enter formula, click on insert.
As far as I know, there's currently nothing that quite does what you want. Putting JavaScript in an email would be a really bad idea in general, but the mathjax bookmarklet might help with web clients. You could use it on your web client before sending off an email, but I wouldn't suggest this. Mathjax rendering depends on the browser, so this will often break on the recipient side. It will also make it hard to reuse the mathematical content. I think mathmal will become the exchange format of choice in the future, hopefully with embedded source data like latex to be able to continue authoring with it. Many equation editors produce mathmal, but those with latex input and mathmal output are rare. Frederick Wang's recent blog post is probably the best, only source for now when it comes to mathmal support in email clients, in particular comment 5. Fred is a contributor to Firefox's mathmal implementation and is part of the mathjax team, disclaimer, as am I.
The practical problem is striking a balance between good experience for cooperating receiving party yet not being entirely broken for non-cooperating parties. Remember that emails may be retained for many years, read via multiple programs, and forwarded to other people. Currently I believe text for Gmail does this best. Notably, it lets you to render plain text formulas like $2 to the power of n or even, heuristically, 2 to the power of n in incoming mail, which is great during back and forth with a person using other software. Markdown here is not as flexible math-wise, but also does other markdown formatting and works in many more places. This form on Murray Bourne's InPath site requires you to send from it instead of your regular mail client, and uses ASCII mathmal instead of text notation. Easier but has the nice feature of letting the recipient view the mail in a browser, and reply there. On a technical level, the only way to display wide range of formulas to any client, except pure text ones, seems to be PNG images. Doing it right ought to include alt text fallback, embedding image in mail so it's self-contained and doesn't depend on external servers. Data URIs have bad support, multi-part with SID column, much better, see comments there. Using high-resolution image that doesn't look horrible on high-p screen. Setting height, width and vertical align in X units. This should be able to match size and baseline to surrounding text. Getting all of the above to work across clients is tricky. For example, see Markdown here's troubles. There are multiple better ways to render math than PNG. The problem with all of them is how to fall back to image, or even text, when they don't work. Some simple subset of math can be rendered well with Unicode plus HTML plus CSS. Indeed, text for Gmail has such a mode. Could text raise the bar for high-quality pure CSS rendering, except it relies on web fonts which don't work in almost mail client. mathjax 2.5 has a common hail mode which currently uses CSS plus HTML without even web fonts, but it looks ugly. They plan to start using web fonts to make prettier. In any case, CSS and email clients is way behind browsers and horrifyingly uneven, so complex math layouts won't work. Mathla is great and semantically the right thing and even works in some clients. Alas, fallback to images seems hard. Of the official fallback mechanisms, even Chrome only got half in 2014. Thanks Fred Wand. So what can one expect from email clients? Okay, Mathla is complex and niche format, but surely SVG ought to be a no-brainer after 15 years in existence? Alas, email SVG support is very sad. For example, Gmail recently dropped all support, not even alt text, and the known JavaScript-free fallback techniques don't work on email. I don't consider testing for screen resolution equals iPhone vertical bar iPad an acceptable technique. The cleanest fallback techniques rely on clients ignoring tags they don't understand. Alas, quite a few. Webmail clients only accept a whitelist of tags and completely drop things like instead of rendering them. As for doing these without fallback, so recipient can't read math at all without the right tool. It's a tough call, compared to PNG which is uglier but works, but may be acceptable to you. Actually, there is always the option to include text/plain fallback. Not all receiving clients expose it, and starting the mail with can't see math? Look for show original in your email client would be a lousy experience. However, what the InMath system does with click here to read and reply as a web page is very good.
What about this add-on called equations? See this URL.
This URL is a